Wait, what did Jackie Christie really just collapse in the middle of the courtroom after hearing she's getting a life sentence? Are we witnessing the ultimate plot twist of reality, TV turned real-life criminal saga? Or is this just the dramatic finale nobody saw coming, but everybody secretly hoped for? I mean, let's be honest, this ain't your average basketball wife meltdown. We're talking tears, screams, a courtroom full of gasps, and Jackie hitting the floor. It was a season finale of her own scandalous spin-off. 1 minute she's all composed and camera ready, and the next boom down she goes as a judge drops the gavel and announces that life means life. But wait, it gets even juicier. The cameras weren't even supposed to be rolling. So, how did this footage leak? Who tipped off the press, and why is Mona Scott allegedly sprinting out of the courtroom covering her face? Yeah, buckle up. Because what we're about to uncover is bigger than betrayal, bigger than bad wigs and designer heels. It's a story of money manipulation and the ultimate meltdown. You thought Jackie was controversial before, though honey, this is a whole new level. Let's get into it. From the moment Jackie Christie walked into that courtroom, it felt like the climax of a twisted reality TV finale. Except this time, the drama wasn't scripted and the consequences weren't temporary, dressed in all black like she was attending her own reputation's funeral. Jackie had no idea the bombshell that was about to be dropped would shake the entire courtroom to its core. Cameras were flashing, whispers were flying, and then boom, life sentence just like that. But let's rewind for a second. How did we even get here? How did Jackie Christie, the queen of chaos, go from running the basketball-wise drama circuit to collapsing in court after being handed a sentence that'll outlive most reality show reruns? The answer lies in a trail of dirty money behind-the-scenes betrayals and a web of lies so thick it could make a spider jealous. First, let's talk about Jackie's long history of shady dealings. This wasn't just a "what I'm oopsie." No. This was your decades even of slowly building a hidden empire behind the veil of celebrity status, fake charities, shell companies, offshore accounts. We're talking full-blown Netflix documentary-level fraud. And the signs, oh, they were everywhere. We were just too busy watching her scream at cast members over brunch notice. Remember that wellness retreat she launched back in 2022? Yeah. Turns out it was just a front. Sources say the so-called wellness retreat had no therapists, no licensed staff, and absolutely no wellness. Instead, it allegedly served as a cover for wire transfers, laundering funds through a donation model that would make even the boldest scammers blush. One insider claimed people thought they were paying for yoga. They were funding private jets. And don't even get us started on the empowerment seminars. What was being empowered her offshore? Accounts apparently the government finally caught when a suspicious $3.29 million transfer pinged on a flag server in the Cayman Islands. From there, everything snowballed, and guess who was helping her along the way? Not just assistants and interns. Nope. We're talking about influencers, ex-gasmates, and even one well-known art singer who's currently pretending to be on vacation, while his name's being whispered in sealed indictments. Yeah, this thing is way bigger than just Jackie. The courtroom was packed. Journalists, influencers, ex-gas members, hiding behind sunglasses. Everyone wanted a piece of this moment, and when the judge read out the sentence, life imprisonment, without the possibility of parole due to financial treason laundering and conspiracy to defraud the state, you could literally hear gas. One person in the gallery fainted. Another dropped their phone. But the loudest reaction that was from Jackie herself. Her knees buckled. Her eyes rolled back and she collapsed to the floor like a scene straight out of a telenovela. Paramedics rushed in, and within seconds, it turned into a medical emergency. Some claimed it was a panic attack, others whispered about stage the tricks. Either way, the judge didn't flinch. He calmly stated, "This court does not entertain dramatics. This sentence stands." But here's where things get even messier, because this collapse, it wasn't just emotional. Insiders are now claiming that Jackie had been tipped off the night before an anonymous source allegedly warned her about the possibility of life in prison. But instead of taking a plea deal, she doubled down. Why? Because according to sources, Jackie was convinced she'd never be convicted. She thought her fame would protect her. That's the kind of delusion you only get from too many reunion specials and not enough reality checks. Now let's zoom out a little, because while Jackie was the face of the scandal, she wasn't acting alone. Oh no, this was a whole operation, and we're hearing whispers of a celebrity laundering ring? Yes, that's what they're calling it now. Allegedly involving 3 other reality TV stars to social media influencers in one shockingly familiar housewife who has no comment at this time. According to leaked court documents, Jackie's business dealings go all the way back to 2016, when she first partnered with an international consulting firm that's since been exposed as a laundering shell. That firm, it has direct ties to corrupt real estate investments in Dubai, fake crypto coins, and you guessed it, fraudulent PPP loans. It's a scam starter pack, and Jackie had all the badges. One particular transaction raised eyebrows as $600,000 brand consulting fee paid to a company that doesn't even have a website. According to prosecutors, that money was funneled through 6 different countries before landing in an account under the alias JC Enterprises. Coincidence? Hardly. Jackie Christie is JC Enterprises. We all know it. She knew it. The feds knew it. And yet she kept acting like it was all a misunderstanding. And now her empire is crashing. Her brand suspended. Her partnerships terminated. Her fans divided. One former assistant speaking under anonymity revealed she always thought she was untouchable. She used to say, "They can't lock up the Queen." Well, now the Queen's got bars instead of crowns. The online world exploded after the courtroom collapse. Hashtags like Dawes Jackie Falls and the courtroom chaos trended within minutes. Memes flooded social media with people posting clips of the collapse, next to gifs of Oscar-winning meltdowns. Some called it the performance of the decade. Others, though, weren't laughing. One particularly viral post read, "She stole from vulnerable people, misled her followers, and played the victim. There's nothing funny about that." Another tweet, allegedly from a former close friend, simply said, "I told her this day would come, she didn't listen." And while fans were picking sides, legal analysts were breaking down the significance of the sentence. One expert claimed this sets a precedent if a celebrity can get life of financial crimes. It's a warning shot to every influencer who thinks they're above the law. Above the law, but this case isn't closed. In fact, it's far from over, because what came out in court today was just the beginning. Prosecutors dropped a subtle bombshell near the end of the hearing, something that barely got picked up in the chaos. Further indictments are expected in connection with the Christie investigation. Translation: more heads are going to roll, and if what we're hearing is true, Jackie might have just been the first domino to fall in a much larger house of cards. So what happens now? Stay tuned for part 2, because a rabbit hole goes deeper, and the names tied to the scandal. You're not ready if you thought the drama was over after Jackie Christie collapsed in that courtroom. You were wrong. That was just the beginning of a far darker story that has left Hollywood, the criminal justice system, and reality TV fans reeling. Now, as the shockwaves from Jackie's sentence continue to spread, a shocking twist has emerged. The once glamorous world of reality stars, luxury cars, and private jets is now being torn apart, exposing some truly ugly truths that no one ever saw coming. The biggest question that remains unanswered right now is this: how deep does this scandal really go? Because when the authorities finally dug into Jackie's affairs, they uncovered a whole other level of deception. Jackie wasn't just laundering money. No, she was orchestrating an empire of deceit. And this wasn't some side hustle either. This was a calculated, years-long operation that involved an entire network of players, some of whom are just now getting cold feet. Let's start with the connections. Jackie made in the underworld of entertainment finance, according to a source close to the investigation. Jackie had a business partnership with a well-known Hollywood producer who's famously known for making films about crime families. Turns out, he might have been living one out in real life, this producer whose name we're choosing not to drop, yet allegedly helped Jackie cover up her financial dealings, using his connections to funnel illicit money through his film projects. It wasn't just A partnership. It was a full-blown criminal collaboration. Sources claim that the producer used backdoor deals to launder money through movies that were never actually made. How does that work? Well, these so-called films were designed to invest in the production costs and then funnel that money into a string of accounts linked to Jackie's network. These films were a front, a vehicle to move millions of dollars without attracting the usual financial scrutiny, the cash that was invested into these non-existent films gone vanished, and no one was any wiser. As if that wasn't enough. The plot thickens. Leak emails from one of Jackie's business associates reveal that she was in talks with several prominent influencers who were allegedly involved in creating fake advertising deals for products that were never delivered. One email sent less than 6 months ago, right? The campaign is going smoothly. Payments are being processed and the products will ship eventually. Let's keep this on the download. For now, this download operation is where things get truly disturbing. Jackie, with her fast-talking, charming persona, was convincing some of the biggest names in the influencer world to advertise non-existent luxury items. Items like high-end watches, designer purses, and vacation packages that simply didn't exist. These influencers, unknowingly or not, were helping Jackie bill her followers out of thousands of dollars by promoting fake products that would never be delivered. Some of them reportedly were promised backdoor deals for the promotional content they produced, including special kickbacks that came straight from the fraudulent transactions. But let's circle back to that Hollywood producer. What role did he really play in this whole operation? Turns out he wasn't just a financial accomplice. There's growing evidence that he may have been one of Jackie's biggest supporters. During the trial, we're talking about high-priced lawyers paid for by the producer who allegedly made sure Jackie was protected. As the investigation escalated, was this kindness? Or was he covering his own back? Some legal experts suggest it was the latter. One source who claims to have been a part of the inner circle shared an eerie confession. It wasn't about saving Jackie. It was about making sure she didn't sing. And that leads us to the next chilling part of the story. Jackie's ties to a growing list of people who might not have been as loyal to her as they appeared. These ties are about to be exposed in a series of explosive revelations that could be the final nail in Jackie's coffin. We're talking about former allies, people who worked alongside her people. She trusted, coming forward with some truly shocking accounts of her involvement in organized financial crimes. One former employee who worked with Jackie for over a decade said she's always had this way of making people think they owed her something that was part of her control. If you said no, she'd make sure you'd never work again. This kind of manipulation and control is at the heart of this entire scheme, and it's something prosecutors are now taking very seriously. But here's the kicker: Jackie have been living this double life under everyone's nose to the public. She was a reality TV star, the lovable mom on Basketball Wives, the woman who made us laugh and cry on screen. But behind closed doors, she was the mastermind of a financial empire built on lies, manipulation, and deceit. This is where the legal system comes into play. As the courtroom drama continues to unfold, more and more names are being added to the list of potential conspirators. The charges against Jackie aren't just limited to money laundering. There are also accusations of witness tampering, bribery, and illegal campaign donations, all of which are still under investigation. With each new report, we see a darker side of Jackie's operations that had been hidden for years. And then there's the money. Oh yes, the money in the weeks leading up to the trial. It was revealed that Jackie had transferred millions of dollars to overseas accounts in the days before her sentencing. In fact, a report that surfaced just hours ago confirmed that Jackie had allegedly transferred over $1 million to a shell company based in Luxembourg just days before her trial began. The question now is whether these funds will ever be recovered or if they've already been funneled out of the country by people who are much more dangerous than Jackie ever could be on her own. So what's next for Jackie Christie? Well, this case is far from over. In fact, many experts believe that what we've seen so far is just the tip of the iceberg. The investigation into her financial activities is expanding, and more charges could be brought against her, charges that could stretch far beyond the courtroom and into the world of Hollywood elite. Jackie may have thought she could escape the consequences by playing the victim and hiding behind her fame. But this time, the law isn't playing along. Stay tuned for part 3, where we'll dive even deeper into the fallout, the public's reaction, and the final consequences of Jackie's actions. Trust us, you won't want to miss the dot. As the saga of Jackie Christie continues to unfold, the fallout from her shocking collapse in the courtroom has only intensified. The once glamorous reality star, who seemed untouchable, is now facing the consequences of her actions, and the media storm around her is reaching unprecedented levels. So what happens next? Let's take a deep dive into the aftermath and explore the consequences Jackie will likely face, both legally and in the court of public opinion. First things first, Jackie's legal team is scrambling to salvage what's left of her reputation. Jackie, who was once the queen of reality TV drama, is now finding out that the real world doesn't play by the same rules. According to legal experts, her defense team's primary strategy is to try and paint Jackie as a victim of a system that failed. They've been working tirelessly to downplay the severity of her actions, arguing that she was misled or forced into the illegal activities that have dominated her life for the past decade. But here's the problem. It's not working. No one is buying the sob story anymore. The evidence against Jackie is overwhelming, and the public is growing more and more impatient. A leaked memo from one of her lawyers that surfaced last night suggests that the defense team is considering a plea deal. That's right. Jackie might just cut a deal to avoid a harsher sentence. But here's the catch. If she cooperates, she might have to rat out some of the biggest names in the entertainment industry. Now this is where things get truly interesting. In recent weeks, sources close to the investigation have revealed that Jackie is ready to turn on her former partners, those influential figures in Hollywood who helped her cover up her illicit activities. The truth is, she's been living a life of excess for so long that it's hard to believe she didn't think she'd get away with it. But now, as the wall's closing, Jackie has a choice: protect herself and expose the industry insiders who helped her, or go down swinging. And speaking of industry insiders, rumor has it that a handful of Jackie's celebrity friends are scrambling to distance themselves from her, realizing they might be caught in her web of deceit. Some high-profile names are reportedly quietly working with investigators, offering up information in exchange for immunity. It's all coming to light now. The same people who once surrounded Jackie and helped her climb to stardom are now looking out for their own skins. Hollywood, after all, has a history of chewing people up and spitting them out when they're no longer useful. And Jackie, well, she's finding out just how real that is. But this isn't just about Jackie's legal drama. This is about the future of her career. Or should we say the death of her career? What's left for someone who's been publicly exposed as a fraud, a liar, and a criminal? It's hard to imagine anyone wanting to work with her after everything that's been uncovered. Not to mention, the public's trust has been shattered. It doesn't matter how many apologies she tweets or how many tears she cries in interviews. Nothing is going to erase the damage she's done. She's burned bridges with fellow celebrities, fans, and anyone who once considered her a role model. The fallout is already taking its toll. The once popular basketball-wise franchise is reportedly in talks to distance itself from Jackie. Altogether, producers are quietly discussing how they can phase out her character or write her off the show without losing too much of the fan base. And let's be honest, it's going to be hard for anyone to get excited about seeing Jackie on TV again after everything that's happened. Even her loyal supporters are now second-guessing their allegiance. The question on everyone's mind is Jackie Christie a victim, or is she a villain now? Back to the legal side of things, many experts believe that Jackie might be facing more than just a prison sentence. She could also be looking at substantial financial penalties. It's not just about jail time anymore, it's about the millions of dollars that were allegedly stolen, the lives that were ruined, and the businesses she's destroyed along the way. There's talk of asset forfeit. And if Jackie thought she could hide her wealth behind fake businesses and offshore accounts, she's in for a rude awakening. Jackie might be forced to give up every last penny she's earned from her illegal activities, and with the ongoing investigation into her finances, it's looking more and more like the feds will find every last dollar. Let's not forget the victims here. The individuals who were swindled by Jackie's fake business deals, the influencers who unknowingly advertised fake products, the fans who sent money in exchange for luxury items they'd never receive. These people will likely be the ones who file lawsuits against Jackie, demanding restitution for the financial losses they've suffered. And while we may never know the exact amount of money she took from innocent people, it's safe to say the figure will be staggering. Some estimates suggest that Jackie could be facing restitution payments in the tens of millions of dollars. The emotional toll on Jackie's family is another tragic consequence. Her children, who have grown up in the spotlight, are now left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives. They didn't ask for any of this. They didn't ask to be thrust into a world of corruption and deceit. And while Jackie may be facing legal consequences, her family is now facing the fallout of her actions too. This is something Jackie will have to live with for the rest of her life. But here's the ultimate question. What does the future hold for Jackie Christie? Will she ever be able to bounce back from this catastrophic scandal? Or is this the end of her? It's the end of her career, her reputation, and everything she's worked for. The truth is, it's hard to say. Some people never recover from something like this. Others fade into obscurity, never to be heard from again. But Jackie isn't just any ordinary celebrity. She's a survivor. Whether or not she can survive, this is yet to be seen. But one thing's for sure. Jackie Christie's downfall will go down in history as one of the most jaw-dropping, shocking, and scandalous tales Hollywood has ever seen. But this isn't over yet. More leaks, more scandals, more twists are coming. Stay tuned for the next chapter of Jackie Christie's shocking downfall. Will she face the music, or will she somehow escape the consequences? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, we'll be here to bring you every jaw-dropping detail as it unfolds. Can you believe it? Jackie Christie, the woman who thought she could escape justice, collapsing in court after hearing her life sentence. This scandal has just reached an all-time high, and trust me, it's only going to get crazier from here. But the real question is, who else is involved? Who's really behind this corruption? Could there be more explosive secrets waiting to be uncovered? I want you to tell me what you think. Was this just the beginning of her downfall? Or is she going to pull off another miracle escape? What other skeletons are hidden in her closet that we don't know about yet? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below. Because trust me, this story is far from over, and the twists are just getting started. And if this bombshell of a video shook you to the core, make sure you hit that like button. Let's see if we can break the internet with how insane this is. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button to be the first to hear the next shocking update. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Stay alert, stay ruthless, and most importantly, stay tuned, because the truth is out there, and we're just getting started.